Good morning, Rabbi.
Morning, Joe.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you.
Are you sure? Has a celebrity endorsed your well-being? Have you taken the latest soda? Have you eaten the latest chip? Are you wearing the right underwear or aftershave?
Joe, that really brings up a topic that's always caught my attention, and it's just about being human. There's something about human beings that we're easily influenced, and the more the influence is a celebrity or almost any or, we're willing to go along. We're going to follow. Joe, sometimes it's really harmless. So I buy a snack or I buy a product that my cardiologist says I should stay away from, or my nutritionist says, don't do too much of it. Okay. However, when that influence will lead to suicide, to mass shootings, to acts of violence, that's a very, very different. And I begin thinking differently about our susceptibility as human beings to external influence, and how we don't teach each other or have a good defense to sit down and say, how do I understand external influences? This is very, very obvious among adolescents, teenagers, young adults, whatever age we want to talk about. Hey, remember when we were young, you couldn't wear new jeans. God forbid you should wear a pair of new jeans. You took them outside, you beat them with rocks, you washed them, you cut them, because we were influenced that you don't wear new jeans. Now I'm looking, and for unbelievable sums of money, our young people are wearing jeans that are distressed, would be a grade up, that torn, ripped, underwear showing, whatever it might be. The goal of clothes and shoes is to protect the body and to be in the climate. So if I'm in the far north, my footwear is going to be different than the Arctic Circle. It's about protecting feet. The same with dress. However, when we step back and look at the way we're dressing, it's purely based on influence. We see someone on television. It doesn't even have to be a movie star. It's someone that's gotten the public limelight that says, this is what's appropriate. And it's very disturbing when it involves life or death. And again, I keep coming back to our younger people with suicide, because when we're younger, we're much more susceptible to being accepted and influenced by those around us. And one of our tasks as adults is to help each other understand why I'm buying a product and why I feel less of myself, because I'm not wearing the cologne, the shirt, the dress, even facial hair. If we look at the last 50, 60 years, men with facial hairs, it cycles. And we do this because of movie stars, because we see it on television. It's coming from all kinds of different places, and how we grow it, how long it looks. Now, for some of us, it's religious, about shaving and growing a beard and what it should look like. For others of us, it's mere appearance. And where does this come from? Where is the idea? But I keep coming back to this external influence for human behavior. So let's start with, it's human.
Well, how often is it just a style thing, or do we see a celebrity having a fabulous life and they always have beard stubble on their face? So somehow we equate 2-day-old shadow with having a great lifestyle, like
Which is
Don
exactly,
Johnson.
no one can see you, I can see you, but that's exactly the way you look. I can understand that you have that face stubble because of their wonderful lives. I don't see anything wrong with that. It doesn't seem to lead to, my concern is much more with suicide, with hurting oneself, with cutting, with not eating. with other behaviors that are detrimental because we're following what someone else wants of us. And we have a hard time standing up and saying, I'm okay. And my body image or shape may not be that one. However, it's okay. So if you want to continue to look like with the 2-day growth on your beard, Joe, so I still respect you. And I think it looks good on you. So you should continue to do that. However, that's not the area that we need to focus on. But that's just proof of how much we listen to and respond to external sources in making our decisions. My lifestyle. How do I consider myself, my self-esteem? How important do I consider myself? And do I base it on someone else's view of me and society? And that's when we get into trouble. Last year for the Super Bowl, $5.5 million for 30 seconds. And no industry in the universe is going to pay that if it didn't influence people. Really. So it does influence us. And the more humorous it is, the more entertaining, the better the influence, but that's a different topic. So it's a given. We are influenced by external sources, and some things are rather harmless. And other things, which is, again, my focus, is how is it hurting us? How is it promoting certain behaviors in terms of society, in terms of people? Even cars, and we can bring this over into the guns and violence and how much we're inundated, and then to say, well, it doesn't influence us on TV. Of course it does. I'll go back to my $5.5 million. Of course we're influenced. How much are we actually working on helping each other stand up and say, I see this is happening to me, and I'm okay not doing that behavior?
So what do you think? How do you feel about celebrities endorsing things that you would think are detrimental to society?
I'm jealous. That's my see, this is all part of what I'm saying, is recognizing our own behavior. I wish someone would pay me $5 million to endorse a product. I don't care what the product does. I'll endorse cigarettes if you give me enough money. I'll endorse heroin and cocaine. Pay me. It'd be foolish to think that I wouldn't do that. I'm a human being. We all are. The only question becomes, how much money would I be offered to see myself in that particular role, as opposed to the, it's easy to be honest when no one has challenged your honesty. Remember, I was on the school board for 10 years. And so take me out for lunch, buy me a squishy toy to reduce stress. I'm not going to give you a bus contract. I'm not going to give you any kind of a contract. No one ever took me out and dropped a bag on the table and said, what do you think? So I can pretend to be honest. Really, I just don't know how I really don't know, because I've never been in a setting where a company offered me money to promote a product that was either harmful, neutral, or didn't do anything. It's never happened. So I'm not going to pretend that, I would never do. Of course I would. The only question becomes, what's the sum of money? And then how do I feel about myself and how do I see this unfolding? I think illegal activity would be easy. I wouldn't do that. Okay. I'm not going to promote violence. I wouldn't promote taking the Capitol. I wouldn't say that religion is a way to, no. Anything like that is off the table. That I understand about myself. But to promote a vitamin, to promote a orchid or a cactus, or to promote mouthwash, hey, no one has approached me. So I'd like to put this out to any of our listeners, that if anyone is a position, I'll be glad to. In fact, I'll wear the shirt. If you want to give me some out, just like NASCAR drivers. I'd love to be like the NASCAR driver. They have patches all over for products and product placement.
T-shirt with your name here.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll start the advertising campaign. Well, one thing I never tire of promoting is your wisdom, Rabbi. Thank you so much.
And thank you for letting me promote me And I hope someone out there will offer me a t-shirt to wear. Good afternoon.